Rebel Alliance. That was pretty good. Waiting for push-ups.
What's up, Martin?
How many we doing, sir?
25?
All right.
Let's go.
Go. There we go. You have any questions?
24, 25. What's good, Martin? You staying
Not
safe?
much. Yeah, you know, here's what it is.
It is what it is, man.
All right.
All right, man. See you.
You have a great day, sir.
You too. Hold on, I'm taking a screen.
Oh, too late. I already hit the button. He wasn't fast. Let me take a. Let's see. Who's next? Let's see if he requests again. I'll put him back in so he can get a screenshot. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Oh, you got it? Nice. Who's next? I always do avatars. See what we get. Daniel. I don't have a workout schedule. I just kind of do whatever. Like I was doing pull-ups and lifting my feet up overhead. Working on my
Marcus, bro. It's so cool that I finally get to meet you. This is awesome. I'm down to do push-ups. Let's go.
How many? How many?
Let's hit it with 15. I'll do 10 regular, 5 clap ones.
I don't do clap ones because you'll end up blowing out your joints.
No, I'm prepared. I'm ready.
Well, I understand that, but just eventually you'll blow something out.
I do martial arts, so I'm gonna have arthritis regardless. It doesn't matter.
Oh, hey, if you do a bone broth diet, it'll prevent damage from arthritis.
I actually already do that. I'm a science major, so I find a lot of what you said inspiring.
Nice.
All right, let's go. Let's see if I can prop this. Oh God! All right.
All right. Ready? Go. So you're a science major.
Yes, sir.
So you think about stem cell research? You ever dabbled in those fields?
I've considered it, and I find decellularized hearts really interesting.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. We have all of the stem cell research for healing you, but nobody ever studies to go, where did they learn that stuff? We take people who heal things that aren't normally supposed to be healed under the current beliefs Western medicine has.
Yeah.
Right? They just heal themselves naturally, and then we reverse engineer that. And every heart failure, kidney, they've all come back to there's a certain metabolic state your body can enter. Will it where your bone marrow, your brain, all of your different parts of your body birth stem cells.
Mm-hmm.
And there's go ahead, sorry.
It's a super underappreciated science and underutilized.
Well, is it underappreciated and underutilized because it's underappreciated, or is it underutilized?
I'm stream with a guy that has a lot of followers on Instagram, Mom. I'm sorry.
Is it underutilized because Western medicine needs people to not know about it because it cuts into their profits?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I feel like it all has to do with big pharma and these fruit corporations. Because what you said earlier that I heard you say about plants reabsorbing environmental waste, that's 100% true.
Oh, it was. So I want you to think about this. So, which is highly fascinating. So not only do they absorb 100% waste, they're the #1 cause of heart disease.
Yeah.
Fruits and vegetables. People don't know this. If I don't eat starch, carbohydrates, sugar, my body will utilize the cholesterol, fat in my arteries for fuel to induce autophagy, apoptosis, and neurogenesis. So you think about that. My body, heart disease really isn't a disease. It's only a disease because we convince people to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables when they shouldn't.
Yeah, and then they end up getting atherosclerosis and dying.
Yeah, so you think without sugar in my system, my body has to use that cholesterol it's saved for fuel. Why is it putting it there? Because I'm supposed to not have so much sugar. I'm not supposed to be eating as much fruits and vegetables. I'm not supposed to be eating as much bread.
Martin, I have a secondary question. Is it okay if I snort marijuana on your podcast?
If you
can I snort marijuana right now?
Do you have a medicinal card?
Yeah.
Can we see your medical license?
It's upstairs, but I do.
I don't care. Go ahead.
All right. This is going to hurt a lot more, but I got it.
So what are you going to do now?
Snort marijuana.
Snort?
Yeah.
Oh, no, don't do that. Don't snort anything. There's kids in the room.
Oh, yeah, I can't do that.
You know what? I'm just thinking, you're going to be a science major, and you'll go. I'm going to help you real quick. I did a lot of hiring for different places, and people like you apply for a job, and you fill out an online thing, whatever. You don't understand why you never get picked for your job. We used to pay companies to scour the internet using just AI programs, and they bring up anything that has your name on it. It'll bring up that you snorted, marijuana. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but I can never tell you why I couldn't hire you.
That's true.
Literally, I can never tell these people why you can't be hired. But it's literally something stupid like that. Like they were on somebody's live feed calling a bunch of people the N-word and all this weird stuff.
I would never do that because that's a career-ending word right there.
But I mean, in the science field too, a science major, if you get a job for a company where you're working on things, snorting marijuana is a career-ending thing as well. It just prevents you from getting it.
Do you engage in marijuana? Have you ever done it before?
Only when I'm injured.
When you're injured, yeah, it actually does help with inflammation.
So you're a science major, so your spit creates a chemical when you have a traumatic brain injury and certain injuries. And we actually, if you're talking fine, we don't know you have a traumatic brain injury. We don't have a scan MRI to check you. We can take a swab of your spit and test it, and it'll come back and tell me that you've had a traumatic brain injury. How do we know that? How do we know that we could use your spit to test for a traumatic brain injury?
Pre-established animal research?
Pre-established human research. Before we had a house, when you were, and modern civilization, when you were learning to walk, did you have a soft spot on your head?
Well, yeah, that's just has to do with how your brain is structured when you're younger. It changes.
Okay, so when you were learning to walk, was it a high likelihood chance for thousands of years your ancestors didn't have carpet, and when they were learning to walk, they would have hit their head on trees and rocks?
I mean, it's possible, but at the same time, at that time, they had certain evolutionary adaptations that we don't.
Well, I'm trying to help you though. I'm walking you into some information, science. Okay. So before we had houses with carpets and things like that, when humans were learning to walk, did they fall and hit their head on a carpet, or did they fall and hit their head on rocks and trees?
No, they fell and hit their head on rocks and trees. That's how they learn faster.
And the baby's saliva creates a chemical that is picked up by the neural receptors in their mother's areola that tells their mother to increase cannabinoid production to alleviate that inflammation.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah, so that's why. Yeah, I when my son was born, prior to that, I got, because I'm really weird at searching, like, what are we going to feed my kid? You know what I mean? So I go Infamil, and it goes almost as good as breast milk.
Okay, can I tell you something, Martin?
Yeah, real quick. But I was like, almost as good. What's the difference? So I studied it, and it says if it's for Infamil, it's for a baby who will, like, breast or baby formula is for a child who never is sick or injured.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So the perfect human being can survive, and Infamil is good for them. If they're not, a baby who gets sick or injured makes chemicals in their mouth that dictates the chemical composition of breast milk, changing it to help heal that baby and make the baby stronger. Baby formula doesn't do that. let me think about it. It's for the perfect child. Well, what child is born that'll never get sick or injured?
None.
So it's not recommended for any baby. But psychology, people don't understand that. It's for the perfect baby. And they go, oh, my baby's perfect. I'll give it to him. Is your baby perfect? Will your baby never get sick or injured?
People want to think their baby's perfect.
Well, you see what I'm saying, though? Using the psychology, lack of education of women to go, it's for the perfect, baby formula is for the perfect baby. And they go, yeah, my baby's perfect, so he can take it. Well, no, you're not. Your baby's not. It's going to get injured. It's going to get sick. And it needs other chemicals that are not included in baby formula because it's only for the perfect baby.
Baby formula lacks sufficient amounts of vitamin D and calcium, so calbenadin can't bind to your bones properly. That's why it's not recommended to give it.
Yeah, it's for the perfect child. And I don't think people understand what they mean by, can we give you some information if you don't have an education that will get you to buy it? Yeah, Enfamil, Johnson's, all those, they're for a perfectly healthy baby. A perfectly healthy baby.
That's
what babies
why I like what you're doing.
Yeah, what is a perfectly healthy baby? It doesn't exist.
Yeah, you're spreading all of this information that a lot of people lack, and you're making it available to the general public. And I really appreciate that you're doing that. It's nice.
Yeah, you guys. I mix it in with mimes and weird skits and stuff because
cocaína.
Well, you think it, but kids don't understand. You know, we have every company in the world studies psychology. Facebook has its own people who study psychology, Instagram, Google, Microsoft, and what they discovered is the under 40 crowd has a 60-second time span. So you have to create something that can catch their attention in 60 seconds. So then you can give them something else in 60 seconds that might educate them. It's real psychology.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. That's like advertising, especially what you do. It's all psychology. That's why they put stuff in the middle of videos on YouTube, because your attention's already there. But I don't want to waste anyone else's time. People have questions. Thanks for
the repeat. You have a great day, sir.
You too.
All right, one more set of push-ups, and then I got to get off. Are you eating lunch, babe?
What's up?
How you doing? Push-ups?
Let's do it.
All right.
25?
All right.
Ready, go.
So do you think Q is real?
Well, what do you mean, what Q?
You haven't researched Q?
Well, I'm trying to figure out what perspective you believe Q is.
A military operation that's basically taking control of the U.S. back.
Well, so I'm going to give you a Q. When you get an IQ test, right, you get identified as everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's a thing that we rank everybody's IQ, right? And then 99% of the population is in the regular IQ test. At the top, you get a genius. At the very top of genius, you get borderline savant syndrome in one or two fields of information. And then after that, your IQ is just rated as Q, and you're given to different military and intelligence agency organizations because you have an island of intelligence and many, many different things that's superior to most of the population. So Q is literally just the top of human intelligence when you rank somebody's IQ.
And do you think that they're basically the movement that they're saying is happening right now? As far as they're the ones that got Trump in, convinced him to even run for president. Do you think that that's real? That they needed somebody that wasn't part of that crooked cabal, basically, like the past presidents after JFK? Well,
so I'm going to tell you right now, there's not a politician in office today that's not crooked.
I mean, everybody, but in general, everybody's a bad,
I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you right now, cutting payroll taxes and cutting business taxes, people don't really understand what that does to the small business owners, right? When we cut big business taxes, small business owners have to foot all of the taxes. Who pays your streets, the potholes, your schools, right? Your property taxes. Who pays the property? Small business owners. Small business owners own houses. They don't own huge apartment complexes where they can write everything off. People don't understand when we've had for a number of years just Congress screwing over small businesses and the middle class and lower class, but because small business owners don't know, they don't understand what they pay for. They just understand my business pays a little bit of taxes. When we're going to cut business tax, but it's for everybody who makes over $20 million a year in business. Who is that? That's not small businesses. That's not the majority of America. But I'll tell you what, right now you could literally have a president write executive order. Every business, no matter what, pays 20% tax. Every school would be funded. Every pothole would be filled. Everybody would have medical and things like that. But we don't do that because people who make the majority of the money pay zero taxes. I mean, think about the small business owners going, I like these tax cuts. Well, when was the last time a small business owner paid zero taxes? Never. But the tax cuts that they voted in the office allows Microsoft, Amazon, Google, huge corporations, right? Trump Enterprises, things like, to never pay any taxes. They pay zero taxes. We psychologically manipulate small business owners to pay the share of taxes for the big corporations, because small business owners don't realize I'm the one that's actually buying new cars. We're the ones that's actually buying houses. We're the ones paying all the deficit, but we don't charge it to you in a business, right? I mean, we a small business owner who owns houses, small business owners, or people making minimum wage.
Small business owners.
Right, my town, right, is made up of middle class and small business owners. They all pay property taxes. Right, they all right now. I have a giant corporation. I don't have to pay any taxes because the laws wrote that into office. I'm going to bring some jobs to your area, and because your area voted to not charge me any taxes, everybody in your town has to pick up the slack on the damages to the road, the environmental damages, everything my company, all these bills my company racks up, you have to you pay for, but you don't understand right. I'm not taking it out of your business. I'm taking it out of your wallet, right? You don't understand that they're connected. They're intimately connected, right? As a small business owner and things like that, I'm going to talk to you about taxes because you're focused on taxes, right? So I have you looking at taxes, and while you're looking at taxes, I'm reaching in your wallet, taking out $100 bills. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, who pays for the potholes in your streets? Small businesses. Why? Because big corporations don't pay no taxes no more. I mean, you think about, they talk about our infrastructure in the United States, the roads and the highways, they're falling apart because big corporations used to pay for them in real life. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. But now we've cut their taxes where they don't have to pay any of it.
Yeah, so now it's just coming out of the small businesses.
Coming out of middle class. It's coming out of middle class and small businesses and lower class in there, and they don't understand. I mean, you got people right now like, no more business taxes, no more business taxes, and then they're driving down. Right, my school, my kid's school is being taught something that we've disproven in 1940, but we don't have the taxes or income to buy new books because we've all voted to cut taxes for the guys at the top.
For the Trumps.
Yeah, everybody who's got a giant corporation. And not to be rude or nothing, but I mean, think about it. I mean, literally. I mean, you have Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos, and even Bill Gates says, I don't think it's fair the amount of taxes we have to pay. We don't pay our fair share. You have Jeff Bezos, Amazon. I don't think it's fair the amount of taxes I pay. I pay everything I'm supposed to, but that doesn't make it my fair share. And then you have other people who don't understand what's going on saying, I don't think Jeff Bezos and Microsoft and big corporations should have to pay taxes, when the owners of these companies are saying we should pay our fair share, just because we give jobs and things like that, and doesn't mean we shouldn't have to pay just like everybody else. But I mean, you have Bill Gates, Zuckerberg, Bezos, right? The owners of Google, all these owners of large corporations saying we should have to pay taxes, but we don't because laws are written in for congressmen who own businesses who don't want to pay taxes. We don't, as Microsoft, we don't pay the same percentage as a small business owner or average American because we follow the business laws, tax laws that were written for the men in Congress who own companies, or for the men in Congress who own stock in the companies that they need to not pay taxes so they can get it back in dividends, right? If I'm a congressman and I own stock in your business, I cut your taxes. You pay me a share of that tax back in my quarterly dividend, and people don't understand that. I can cut taxes, payroll taxes today, business taxes today, and literally you pay me a dividend for it. It's fraud. I'm not actually cutting taxes to benefit America. I'm cutting taxes because you're going to put money in my pocket. I have $500,000 in your business, invested in your business in shares. And since I cut your taxes, those shares have you pay me a dividend. You put money back in my pocket for cutting your taxes. Now I'm small business owner. My neighbor owns a construction company. He's going to pay that. He's going to have to pay that difference because the roads that he drives on to go work on your house are damaged. His house pays for the school in your area, right? Because Congress wanted to make more dividends put in their pocket. My neighbor's small businesses have to pick up the difference. I mean, you think how crazy that is? Microsoft, Facebook, Amazon, they're like, we don't pay our fair share of taxes. Not because we don't want to, because that's the way the laws are written for Congress. That's the way the laws are written for Congress. We don't pay our fair share. You know who pays it? Who pays the money that I don't have to pay, and Congress doesn't have to pay? Martin's small business neighbors, right? The restaurant on the corner of the street.
The mom and pop spots.
Yeah, my neighbor's construction company, my neighbor's plumbing company, my neighbor's heating company. Right? All the small businesses have to foot all of these bills, and they don't understand what's going on. But we can trick them. We might give you a few more dollars in your taxes. You'll see a difference in your taxes. Right? And while I'm putting $1 per thousand in taxes, I'm taking a $100 bill out of your wallet, an extra 100. Now I got to raise your property taxes. I got to raise the fuel tax. Right?
Yeah, they just move shit around.
Construction company. So he's got to drive
the same, but just move them around.
Yeah. Now, right, my neighbor owns a construction. He got to drive somewhere. Right now, we're going to have to charge more property tax. We're going to have to more gas tax. All of his employees got to pick up the bill. His small business is picking up all the tax cuts for all the people at the top, but they don't realize it. Nobody realizes what's going on. Nobody knows what's going on. But psychologically, let's cut taxes, man. It's good for everybody. Well, no, it's good for the people at the top. They don't have to pay any, right? All the small businesses are what pick up the bill. They're getting so screwed so bad. We're screwing over middle class America so bad. But I mean, you think about it. We're telling you right now, everything's getting. We cut taxes, and the economy was booming, right? All this extra money. Did you see any of the potholes in all the area school? Getting new books and updating actual curriculum, or just trying to catch up from the deficit we created ourselves. We're barely trying to catch up. And now we keep cutting taxes, making it worse for your children. Now your children, small businesses, are going to have to pick up even more of a bill. They're going to suffer even more.
There you go, Martin for president.
Yeah, Martin for king.
All right, brother.
Vice president, man, I would do an executive order. Everybody got to learn about ketosis that actually removes the number one killer, heart disease, the number one killer in America.
Yeah,
so that makes it
definitely need to
the
teach
number
some
one
stuff in school that matters.
number one debt in America, the number one creator of debt in America, heart disease, the number one funder of corporations. I would look, it's not a disease. We're just not teaching you the truth. I'd make everybody would have to learn about a ketogenic state so they don't get heart disease. Right? And if you don't get heart disease, you don't have to pay Big Pharma all this money that they're not paying taxes with.
All right, brother. It was good talking to you.
You have a great day.
Easy, man.
I got to go. My wife's calling me. You guys have a great day.